Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Ever stop and wonder how your favorite game remembers your high score? Or how a text document saves every single word you type? Well, today, we're going to unlock one of the biggest secrets in all of programming. And you know what? It's a lot simpler and honestly, more magical than you might think.
Seriously, think about it for a second. When you're playing a game, how does it keep track of your score, your health, your inventory? Every single program you use has to juggle a ton of information. So how in the world do they actually do it?
The answer, believe it or not, is incredibly simple. At its very heart, it all comes down to one powerful idea, a magic box. And trust me, this one simple metaphor is going to make everything else just click.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to meet this so-called magic box. Then, we'll figure out how to fill it up. After that, we'll learn the all-important rules of magic, see how to change what's inside, and finally, we'll put it all together to build your very first program. Ready? Let's do it.
First things first, let's get properly introduced to the star of our show. We're going to take this simple, intuitive idea of a box and connect it directly to how things really work inside a computer program.
So every single magic box has just three really simple properties. Number one, it has a name, right? So you can find it later. Two, it can store something inside of it. And three, the thing that's inside isn't permanent. You can change it whenever you need to. That's it. See? Super simple.
Now, in the programming world, these magic boxes have an official name. They're called variables. A variable is nothing more than a container for storing information. From now on, whenever you hear the word variable, I just want you to picture one of these magic boxes with a label on it.
All right, so we've met the box, we know what it is, but how do we actually put something inside it? This is where we get to write our very first tiny piece of code. It's exciting.
Let's break this down. It's really just three little steps. First, you give your box a name. In this case, we're calling it age. Then you use the equal sign. Now, in programming, this sign is like a special command that just means put inside. And finally, you tell it what to put inside, the value, which here is the number 5.
So when the computer sees that line of code, age equals 5, it doesn't see a math problem. It sees a command. It reads it as a simple instruction. Put the value 5 inside the box called h. It's an action, not an equation. That's a super important difference.
So what kind of stuff can we actually put in these boxes? Oh, all sorts of things. You can store numbers, like your score on a game or your age. You can store single words or even whole sentences. Pretty much any piece of information you can think of.
Okay, but check this out, because there is one crucial difference here. When you store a number, you just type the number. Easy. But, and this is a big but, when you store any kind of text, whether it's one word or a whole paragraph, you absolutely must wrap it in quotation marks. That's how the computer knows you're talking about text and not, say, the name of another magic box.
Now, like with any good magic trick, there are a few rules you've got to follow, and these are mostly about how you name your boxes. If you get these rules right, your programs are going to work like a charm. Just take a quick look here. On the left, we've got names that work perfectly. On the right, we have names that will totally break your program. Can you kind of see the pattern here? Why do you think a name like toAge or myAge with a space isn't allowed?
And here are the answers. These are the rules. A variable name has to start with a letter or maybe an underscore, but never a number. It can only have letters, numbers, and underscores in it. That means no spaces, no hyphens, no other weird characters. And this last one is really important. Names are case-sensitive.
And when we say case-sensitive, we really mean it. A box named Apple with a lowercase a is a completely separate, totally different box from one named Apple with a capital A. As far as the computer is concerned, those two have nothing to do with each other.
Okay, so we know how to make a box and how to name it. But here's where the real magic comes in. The whole point of these boxes is that what's inside isn't stuck there forever. Let's see how that works. So let's picture it. We have our box called age, and right now, we've stored the number 5 inside it. That's our starting point.
Now we can give the computer a brand new command. Age equals 6. And when it sees that, something really important happens. The old value, the 5, it gets completely thrown out, and the new value, 6, takes its place. The box is still the same age box, but its contents have been updated.
Now this is where it gets really clever. You can actually update a variable using its own current value.
So if we have a box called coins with 5 inside, and we tell the computer coins equals coins plus 1, here's what it does. First, it looks at the right side. It checks inside the coins box and finds the number 5. Then it does the math. 5 plus 1 is 6. Finally, it takes that new result, 6, and puts it back into the coins box, replacing the old 5. This is literally how scores go up in video games.
You know what? We've actually covered all the key ideas now. We've got all the pieces of the puzzle, so let's put this magic to work and just see how these boxes act in a couple of quick, simple programs.
Okay, let's walk through these real quick. In the first one, we put the word Ravi in a box named name, and then we print it. Simple enough. In the second one, we start with 2 toys, then we add 3 more to that value, which gives us 5, and we print the new total. And for the last one, check this out. We put blue in the color box, but then immediately replace it with green. So when we ask the computer to print what's in the box, it only knows about the very last thing we put in there, green.
All right, let's wrap this up with the big takeaways. The most important thing to remember is that variables are just magic boxes for your information. That's it. You don't have to worry about the messy details of computer memory. You just give your box a name, put something inside, and remember, you can change it whenever you want. Just keep those simple naming rules in mind, and you are good to go.
And really, don't underestimate how important this is. Everything you will ever do in programming, from a simple calculator to the most complex game, it is all built on this one fundamental idea of storing and changing information in variables. They really, truly are the heart of it all.
So, there you have it. You now know the secret. You understand the single most important building block of how programs work and remember things. The only question left is, now that you have this power, what are you going to build with it?